Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle. And I thought today we would shine the spotlight on John Sherman. This guy had a very incredible physique. John was born way back in 1967, so he never started his competitive career until 1987. Never turned pro until 1992. This guy had it all as far as lines, aesthetics, and he was loaded with size and quality muscle. So it is too darn bad that he only stood 5 feet 5 inches, and he weighed an incredible under 190 pounds. Can you imagine that? I would have guessed well over 200. But anyway, like I said, he turned pro in 1992. He took the NPC Nationals that year. Then he went on to his first competitive pro year in 1993. Not a bad year, but not the greatest. He did, however, fetch a third-place finish at that year's Night of Champions. Porter Cottrell won that event, Andreas Munzer in third. Also in 1993, John Sherman made his Mr. Olympia debut. But he was lost in the shuffle, and like I said, it's too darn bad that he was 5 feet 5 inches. Because let's face it, if there was a 212 division back then, John Sherman would have been a shoo-in for sure. He did, however, have a fantastic year in 1994, placing third at that year's Night of Champions. He was bested only by Nasser El Sambadi, who placed second, and Mike Francois there in first. John Sherman did, however, get a victory over Al Gurley, I believe his name is pronounced. And that says a lot. He also got a victory over this guy, Maniac Mike Quinn. And these were guys that were so much bigger than John Sherman. Also in 1994, John took second place at that year's Chicago Pro. And he was bested by Mike Francois, but judging by some of these pictures, it was probably size alone that got the victory for Mike Francois. Because John Sherman, he was excellent. He was excellent here. Look at this physique. This would be a 212 division champion today for sure. When Olympia time rolled around, John Sherman was looking good as always. But unfortunately, once again, he was lost in the shuffle and placed way down in 16th place. Could you imagine a physique like this and the judges overlooking it because of his size? Gosh darn it. Too bad there wasn't an under 200 pound class back then. It's easy to see why he was, in fact, lost in the shuffle. With guys like Nasser El Sambadi hanging around, just makes it unfair for these shorter guys. Sherman did return the following year, in 1995, and earned himself a 4th place finish at that year's Houston Pro Championships, and then maybe seeing the writing on the wall, he seemingly retired from the sport of bodybuilding altogether. That is, until he made a surprise return in the year 2000. But with no weight classes, Sherman was once again lost in the shuffle and did not even place at that year's Night of Champions. John Sherman competed off and on until finally competing one last time in 2014. With a very respectable 6th place finish at that year's Phoenix Pro. And considering Sherman was in his late 40s and still showing signs of improvement as far as the back development, the conditioning, things of that nature is concerned, he would have been a shoo-in for a long-term 212 division champion. Could you imagine if he had won the title back in 1994? Held on to it for that many years? That would be, 20 Olympia titles, give or take? Sure, Flex Lewis might have got him there. Kevin English might have got him. 2008, when they did throw in the 202 division, 2008. But let's face it, guys, John Sherman, being in his late 40s, little bit too late for him to be a serious threat and a competitor in the 212 division. But considering the damage that he was doing back in his day, competing against open class competitors, I wager to say that John Sherman, if he was competing around nowadays in his prime, he would in fact be a 212 division champion, if not a runner-up. Hit thumbs up on the video. Let me know if you guys like this type of content. I will do more profiles on former bodybuilders from the 90s, even the 80s. Go back as far as the 70s if you want. Heck, 60s. Hit thumbs up. Have a great day.